just landed in Salt Lake City. It was such a long travel. I have a very busy vlog coming up for you. 3 shows, plus I'll give you my personal top 12 of 2016. It's been an exciting year for music, and I can't wait to share it with you. So here we go, number 12.
Dancing is what to do.
Cutting Shapes by Don Diablo. This was an amazing year for Don, and this track was incredible as well. Number 11 will always remind me of my summer tour in 2016.
I wanna know, hey, hey.
And I think this was specifically in, where was I playing again? Some Eastern European country, and the DJ before me played it, and the crowd sang it along, and I was like, man, this is huge. This is one of those tracks that, as a DJ, you play and you just always instantly grab it because it's just so easy to play out and so nice to mix in. Number 9, a big one for me this year, a collaboration with Afrojack. Huge opportunity, and I see this track a little bit as a gift from Afrojack to me. I wish I had more for you right now, but first up, my show here in Salt Lake City, and I'll get back to you after.
To love someone, no. Broke my promise, I promised you ours. Broke my promise, I promised you
So much fun. One thing is for sure, Salt Lake City knows how to party. Next stop, Canada. And then it started to rain heavily. Fingers crossed I'll make my connection today. Okay, so we're finally boarding, but it's looking like we're gonna miss our connection anyway. Currently in the process of rebooking flights to still try and make it tonight. Okay, so arrived out in Calgary. It's -2 Fahrenheit outside.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Blake here. Blake grew up in, you're living in Miami, right?
Miami, yep.
How's this feeling for you? And so what would have been an easy day of travel turned out to a whole day of travel. We're still here with my top 12 countdown of 2016. I'm gonna need to come back with the numbers 8 to 5 of my countdown after my show tonight. Look at the people smoking outside. Here. -22 Celsius. Okay, so number 8, a new talent, one that rocked my year.
Blast from the past, going back to the future.
Bringing it back to that old school Dutch sound that I love and that I used to make and play a lot. Probably one of the tracks that I played most out ever since Ultra 2016 in Miami. Probably one of my biggest tracks this year. I was super lucky I was able to jump on this. I gave it an electro drop and it got played by a lot of DJs. And then we have the number 5 in this 2016 Top 12 Countdown.
Taking you back.
With its raw break and funky drop, catchy vocal, this track really hit home this year. 4 more left here in this vlog. What will be my number 1? I will tell you more very soon, but I'm going into the 3rd show for this vlog, taking a long flight out from Calgary to Hamilton, Ontario tomorrow. Now let me explain you about this top 12. This is my personal top 12 of 2016. So it doesn't really have to do with some major tracks being the number one in like the top 40 and stuff. These are the tracks that work the best for me on my dance floor, and that when I think back of those tracks, they'll remind me of this last year. So it's quite the weekend when it comes to flights. Yesterday's flight was delayed. I had to buy a new flight. And this morning, our flight got canceled. So I had to buy 2 more tickets today. It'll be an expensive trip, this one expensive weekend, but show must go on. And the good news is we're sitting pretty in business class. Touchdown Toronto. It's a pretty easy flight. We're just gonna go to the hotel now. We're gonna get some sleep in a real bed before the show. Here we are, number 4 on the countdown. I was playing this out for a little while, and I was always wondering why this track didn't cross over. But luckily the track got what it deserved, and it got a big fat crossover hit, number 3. Our very own youngest Mixmash family member, Mark Villa and Venture. To me, Venture is a modern day Avicii levels, and I am super surprised the world slept on it. I feel there will still come a day where people feel the emotion, the energy, but for me, it was golden. The number 2 in the 2016 countdown. Safe to say this is probably one of the most played tracks in any DJ set this year. And so right now, I really gotta rush for my show. After my show, I will come back to you with my number 1 of my 2016 countdown. Such a good show here. That was fun. Underground vibes and a crowd that knew a lot of my tracks. And so these were the 11 tracks we previously discussed. And so right now, it's time for the number 1 track. This is one of those tracks that wrote history for me. When I hear this track, I will always think about 2016. None other than Chainsmokers' Closer. Chainsmokers absolutely killed it this year. Super proud of the guys. They became mega stars and they unleashed such awesome tracks this year. Now I realize I probably left a whole bunch of tracks out. Luckily, in my personal 2016 year mix, I'll have room for about 70 tracks and you'll see a whole lot more. And now I'm curious about your top 10 or top 12 of 2016. Please feel free to leave them in the comments and let me know what you think of my selection. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Next week, I'll have a full recap of 2016 for you. The ups, the downs, and future plans. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Hope to catch you next week right here on The True Story and the Real Life.